Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video on something I really found valuable to help people understand what's been going on with this election. And first and foremost, I wanted to give a thanks to Father Pavone. He did a really great job at talking about the facts regarding uh, the frauding of the election, the votes, and our Bill of Rights and things like that. I almost felt like I was listening to myself talk. So I wanted to give thanks to Father Pavone. Thank you so much for doing what you do, spreading the good word of truth for our country, for the betterment of everyone in our country, to also keep our Constitution intact and in place, and not have these left radicals create lies and these so-called coups of drama to kind of set a false stage for attacking our president or attacking our Constitution, attacking children from being able to have a proper education in schools, because these communist terrorists are teaching our children to hate their country, to hate being patriotic, to hate our flag, to hate our history, to hate our president, to hate God, and to look down on God, and that God does not exist. So thank you, Father Pavone, for that. Now, mainstream media, and I agree with this because Father Pavone has said a number of things. Media, this is what I've been saying, mainstream media, fake news has gone absolutely crazy, and they're no longer trustworthy. And this goes with everybody that plays into and supports and spews lies for the fake media. So they've gone completely nuts trying to protect and conceal the truth for their communistic counterparts. And they are no longer trustworthy. Also, there are some news channels that are trustworthy, such as Breitbart, or Breitbart. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. It's Briebeart. Breitbart News, One American News Network, OAN, OAN, and some others. Fox News hits the mark sometimes with Maria, Hannity, Tucker. So, most of the time, 99% of the time, if not more, definitely Hannity and Maria are the real deal. They're not going to bullshit you because communism has them by the balls. They're going to give you the real deal. So, even social media, for instance, when we're putting a post on Twitter or whatnot, regarding the election, you get this message that this claim is being disputed, or the AP has called the election for Biden, when we're trying to post on social media. Isn't any post, for that matter, actually, you can dispute a comment someone makes? Isn't almost any post disputable? Warnings that Twitter and Facebook are putting on our posts to make people feel like we can't talk about the election, that Biden has actually in fact won, when he has not. We are having to take a look and count all the legal votes, and take out the illegal votes. And that's what they don't want us to do. They want us to just, dupe us and be like, okay, the election's done. Biden won. Okay, that's it. No. So, when they put these warnings on our posts, it's at the end of the day, it's to stomp on our minds, to stop us from thinking outside the box, and to manipulate and confuse the masses regarding the truth of the election. Okay, so, Father Pavone, gave a prayer when he was talking all about all this. And I've talked about all this in the past. But I wanted to talk about it the way he had talked about it, because I thought he did a phenomenal job. And he said, we know God protects us and loves us, right? So God, please give success to those, and please give success to the work of our hands in defending the gifts you have bestowed upon us, dear Lord, especially in terms of our human and inalienable rights. Those are the things they want to take away. Everything that has enriched this country, our companies, our factories, our trade deals, everything they want to take away and give it to the communists. And they want to take away our human and civil rights. And, be able to go after you if they want. And no one's going to be able to protect us, because the deep state, and that's who they say Soros is a part of, and Hillary and Obama, they are the evils of this world that want to steal and rob us of everything God has given us, all these gifts God has given us, here in America, and just give it to the communists and allow all these immigrants to come in and get everything for free. Meanwhile, they're going to be enlisting these immigrants to fight alongside of them as their domestic terrorists. So I want to make that really clear. And I've said that on my past videos as well. So let's get one thing straight when it comes to what's been going on with the election. Because, the media, lamestream media, been talking a lot of trash, guys. A lot of lies. And if you're not able to focus in on what's going on, it can be confusing. If you work all the time, like I used to work all the time when I was getting attacked, all I did was hobble home on my crutches, hoping I wouldn't get attacked again. Because I still get attacked and followed every day. If I don't get attacked every day, they do things to me to try to run me off the road, hit me. I was hit just the other night. Those turnabouts when you come off the freeway. My car's GPS'd. So all those crazy ass cult members know where I'm at in the city. So they take turns taking jabs at me. This one guy stopped in the middle of a turnabout as I was going. So he stopped and he was almost hanging off the turnabout. So I kind of drove around him, on the side of him to keep going. And he came back and he hit me. And, my car's old, so I don't care. And this guy had dark ass sunglasses on, which I don't know what that's about, but it was very strange. I just went to go get pizza at Domino's Pizza, and they follow me. They sit in the parking lot. These people are just sick. So going back to what I was saying, no one's publicly seen a fraction of the evidence from the Trump legal team, because fake news is constantly saying these really false, destructive messages, spewing these falsehoods, this fraud of commentary. It's not even news. It's like a brainwashing message, without them letting you know they're brainwashing you. So the Trump legal team has a huge amount of evidence, and they're just getting started. There are many legal maneuvers the Trump team has, the legal team, there are many uh, many maneuvers, um, but the latest, which is a victory, is that the Pennsylvania legislature has introduced a resolution that may be finalized tomorrow, which will be Monday, reclaiming and reasserting their constitutional authority. Now let's remember, guys, Biden, Obama, Soros, Communist China, Scientology, they want to do away with the Constitution, and they want to be able to dictate how things are going to be. And they want to pack the courthouse with just crazy Democrats so they can take away our Constitution, take away our human and civil rights. And that's it. So the state legislature of Pennsylvania is reasserting and reclaiming their constitutional authority in deciding how the election in Pennsylvania is going to fall and what place it's going to fall. In other words, the state has certified results of the election, and Biden has a margin of victory. But the state legislature, they are the ones under the Constitution that have authority based on the Constitution, to choose the electors for the presidential race, and therefore they have the authority to act in such a way based on information they are receiving that the Democrat governor of Pennsylvania, in fact, just like the governor of California, just like the governor of New York, the Democrat governor of Pennsylvania, shame on you. Shame on you, Secretary of State and other Democratic officials in that Commonwealth. They have chosen, guys, and this is why these states are falling apart, and this is why the election is so lopsided with fraud. We have these states with these corrupt officials. Right here, Pennsylvania, the governor, Secretary of State. They want to brush it off, the fraud. They want us to just forget about how Biden frauded this election, and they helped Biden fraud this election. They want to sweep the criminality under the carpet in the voting and the election. And this is something, guys, that's not new. It's been going on for decades. And so the bottom line is the legislature has a commitment to the Constitution and following that Constitution. Again, Biden doesn't want you to follow the Constitution. They want to destroy it. So let's just ask this question. Can a certification by a state, that state for presidential winner, be reversed? But before I say that, I just want to finish by saying, just because these corrupt governors, Secretary of State, and all these, corrupt officials, state officials, want to disregard the criminality and ignore the Constitution, doesn't mean the legislature is going to. Okay, the legislature is there to make sure things are followed according to the Constitution. So that's, when we ask, can a certification by a state, that state for a presidential winner, be reversed? The answer, guys, is yes. It absolutely can. Thank God. So let's put it this way. The day before Thanksgiving, Senator and House members held a hearing, and Rudy Giuliani and others from the Trump team were there and presented some of the evidence they have. because that's what's been going on in Pennsylvania. I'm just going to call it what it is. This is abuse of authority, underhanded fraud to keep the corrupt in power, and dismantling our laws and reforming laws behind the scenes, impacting our very inalienable human rights. This corruption, guys, impacts. There were over 1.5 million votes in Pennsylvania for the presidential race. Thanks to Biden, we all know that these votes are the ones that came in too late. And the legislature, the need to uphold when ballots come in need to be looked at. And for the legislature to decide whether or not these votes are in fact legal or not legal. But just in terms of the deadline, we have November 3rd, let's say 8 o'clock. And after 8 o'clock, if our governor is disregarding the Constitution and the laws upholding the deadline are not overall dictated by state, but by the state legislature, either the law itself means something or it doesn't. So what I'm trying to say is the legislature has to look at if in fact how many votes came in illegally after the deadline, and if in fact that happened, that state legislature is given the authority by the state constitution. It's not like the state legislature is just jumping on the bandwagon saying this is what we're going to do. This is all according to the Constitution. And this is, again, what Biden, Obama, Soros, Hillary, all these celebrities backing communism, they don't want the Constitution anymore. They want to control what happens to us, to our democracy, to our Constitution. They want to destroy it. So the bottom line is any corruption that's been going on they're going to take a look at it, state legislature, and they're not going to uphold or make any changes to what the Constitution has laid out. But they're going to uphold within that state what the Constitution dictates. So meanwhile, Pennsylvania corrupt Democrats are saying, oh, let's move on. Biden won. There's nothing here to see, folks, except these results that Biden won. It's like, they have gotten used to frauding elections so much for decades, guys, decades and decades, that they're bothered that there's a new sheriff in town. And President Trump, that new sheriff, isn't entertaining nor enabling this fraud in Pennsylvania state. He's not going to accept it to be status quo. Fake news, media, these celebrities who hate Trump, they want us to accept a fraud election, to accept these fraud illegal votes and just move on. It's kind of like, let's say someone frauded your bank account and it was people who were communists and they know you have a lot of money. And all of a sudden you try to speak up to the police and the police won't even talk to you because they're in bed with the communists. And there's no one going to help you. And there's people that are compromised, your friends and neighbors, because you're a target and they've convinced your neighbors that you're loony and you need to forget about that money and just move on. Would people in America accept something like that? So why should our president accept some BS like that for the presidential race? It makes no sense. Um, so they don't want us to see the facts, but the writing's on the wall, guys. Now, the bottom line is President Trump, everybody's happy to see the results of this election. But I want to stress what we mean by that. We are happy to see the legal results of the election. A fair election, not a crooked one that gets stolen by serial career left radical Democrat governors, mayors, secretary of state, etc., etc. These ballots, 1.5 million, all of a sudden coming in late after the deadline. These truckloads, they were even saying somewhere like garbage truckloads. These devils have no shame bringing in truckloads of fraud ballots without signatures, ballots that were just, reproduced, stolen from people, elderly people, stolen from people, ballots where people were one person was voting in multiple states, and some of these people never even got to vote. The list goes on and on. They have actual people of these states coming out complaining about all this fraud. Dead people voting, dead people asking for ballots to vote, requesting a ballot. This is what the Democrats do, guys. So, not to mention there's a whole lot of other problems in Pennsylvania. And as it is, with it having and being infested with corruption, ruling for decades, through rigging of past elections, it's just been, same day, different sheet, business as usual with these criminals. So this isn't something the president just made up. I had made a prediction that this was going to be really bad. They were going to have their Antifa involved back in August, September. And this has just been something that's been normal for these Democrats. Like AOC, that devil, Cuomo, I just can't believe Cuomo and de Blasio won fairly. These people are so evil. They will cheat any way they can to get in, because they all help each other with their criminality, so I've mentioned that a million times. So this is constitutional law that's been in effect from day one, and that the state legislature upholds, for Pennsylvania. And this is why these corrupt left radical Democrats in Biden's corner, make us laugh. They're so delusional. And they've gotten away with stealing and frauding the masses with rigged elections for so long now. Soros is a big part of this problem. And he's done this in other parts of the world already. And they want to conquer and take down America because they're jealous. They hate America. They want to do what they want and control it the way they want with socialism and communism. So our amazing president and the people that stand behind him for truth are giving these losers, these robbers, these thieves, these frauds a wake-up call. That clown mess isn't going down in 2020, guys. So, the pastor goes on to say Biden trolls, hang on and watch him, on YouTube because they have nothing else better to do. And in fact, Biden has conducted the worst presidential campaign in history. And it's a total disgrace. Yet they think that we are in fact clueless from seeing the obvious. The law is the law. And Biden supporters don't want to differentiate the difference between legal and illegal votes. If you lost that notion of legal versus legal in one area, then you've lost it everywhere else. So it's not a question, guys, of courts taking rights of people. It's the matter of the courts protecting those very rights of the people. The rights originating in our Constitution, which, by the way, the left radicals, Biden, that's why they want to do away with our Constitution. And they want to chop it up, dissect it, restructure it according to their communistic, socialistic agenda, which, they don't even have the balls to spell out what their real intentions are, because people are going to get scared. People are going to get scared. They don't want to explain the reason they want to pack the courts with crazy Democrat radicals. Their corrupt party and laws are going to dominate and rule the future of America when there won't be America. We're going to be like a third world country. They're going to be able to come after whoever they want and attack them or kill them or take them away. They're going to harvest their organs like in communist China. Everyone's going to have to be obedient robots. And if they want to attack you as you're walking down the street, if they want to attack you or attack your business, they're going to be able to do that stuff and no one's going to be able to come to your aid. So we really need to look at what's going on here. Our country's hanging by a thread. So, the people have voted. The courts are not going to decide the election. The courts will decide, for example, if whether a governor that has, let's say, I said, an 8 p.m. deadline on the last day of election has, in fact, exceeded that deadline and its constitutional authority by allowing ballots to exceed that deadline of 8 p.m., which makes those ballots illegal. So it's a very legitimate role for the courts to do on behalf of the Constitution. So if we take a step back and look at the facts and look at the reality for what it is, because the American people are not getting it from the mainstream, lamestream media. We're going to hear more tomorrow, on Monday, tomorrow, about the Pennsylvania State Legislature and what they're going to do. And so I just want to talk about this, guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to be running out of time. So on my next video, I'm going to be talking about Biden voters and how much they really knew about Biden and how much just they didn't know about President Trump. And had they known the facts, had the lamestream media given them the facts from the get-go, if in fact they would have in fact voted for Biden or not. So I'm going to see you on the next video, guys. Happy Sunday, and let's take care of each other, guys. When we have family and friends, support one another. And I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but let's try not to take each other for granted. Take care of one another. Take care of your families. God bless everybody. Thank you for watching.